What is going on? I'm zmot. We have finally gotten into Diamond on my second account. This account went a whole long different path than what I did on my main account, which I parked like 10 days ago at this point. We're going to throw code zmot in that shop. Make sure that is updated. It's going to make you 68% more likely to have a fantastic end of the war ships season. And I know I haven't posted. I haven't posted in like a week. I told myself I wasn't going to post again until I got to Diamond, just to kind of incentivize my brain's not working. Anyways, new leaders. Stoneheart is taking a break from the game, so that is why you see those new names up there. Gonna be interesting to see a new winner this season. Maybe gonna be Kaiser. I'm not sure where I'm betting just based on that win percentage. Maybe, just maybe, but it always doesn't always come down to win percentage, obviously. Let's visit this person's warship, see if they've got any trophies out. There we go. There is a top 5 or 3, so they definitely have the pedigree. I've been winning a fair bit. Now, this is my base. I'll quickly pick up something here, just that way you guys can copy if you so choose. Working okay. I was stubborn. I was beyond. I do the stupid things in warships where I decide, hey, I'm not going to do something. So this is the one, my alternate tech tree, where I went back through flamethrowers and building damage. I also have building health. I have the prototype node. My other account doesn't have flamethrowers, doesn't have building damage, doesn't have the prototypes. So this one definitely a little bit slower to clear. Went back and switched those cannons to machine guns. Seems to be helping extra defense, also against those riflemen or heavies. Now, for once in my life, I managed to get those 110 to match the 110. The Boom Beach gods smiled upon me yesterday. So I'm going to show you a couple battles just to show you what I've been doing as far as times. 251, pretty quick. Now this is, personally, I love getting 4 engine rooms because it's super simple. You just absolutely BART things out and then drop a couple boats of Seekers on that one side, and then you can do all sorts of fun things with that kamikaze flare towards the end. And I was saying I was super duper stubborn. I refused to use Kavan. I did not want to use Kavan. I was struggling at 19 and 20. Switched to Kavan and sure enough, jumped into Diamond pretty darn quickly. So still matching things like 4 engine room bases occasionally, but I prefer matching 6s. Like, this is the 6, and I'm finding that with 6s, you kind of just drop, and then all of your troops magically work their way towards the engine rooms if you use that right ramp. Like, they all just... Like, look at this. We are in the middle of 4 different engine rooms. We just get rid of that outlier, that far, far back one, and it takes a fair amount of gunboat energy to do that. But look at this. Our troops were already hitting all the engine rooms. Down goes the 6, so I am going to build a 6 engine room base after this video. Definitely, the reason I have not done it yet is partially because I'm lazy, and partially because I want to be able to jump into that building health. That building health is going to be helpful. So, 6 engine room bases. I'm gonna have to try and find one that does not look like that, because is that the same one? I might have already shown you that one. We're gonna skip that one. Moving on up against Hop. I am going right ramp, basically exclusively. That has been the biggest change. I basically said I'm not going left ramp unless I absolutely have to. And when I'm going left ramp, I'm dropping 1 or 2 boats of Seekers to get an engine room. I also have tried to remove Seekers a little bit from what I've been doing, because I have been screwing things up a fair amount whenever I use Seekers. This is my slowest time. I was hoping for Seekers to go to this engine room, and then they didn't. They went up high, which I still pulled out the dub. 251 is pretty darn quick. You can tell because it's, again, 4 engine room base. There are still 4 engine room bases in Diamond. There are still 4 engine room bases up there somehow, some way. I think people are failing against rocket launchers. And if you haven't done it already, this one was pretty obvious to me, but I wanted to point it out. You can get 2 flamethrowers through medics, which never work long term. Medics are never an end game strategy. I can't remember a time when they have been. or through heavies, and heavies have almost always been some form of endgame. So that's why I went through heavies. I assume everyone has already done that who's going through there, but if you're still thinking about what to do, make sure you go through the heavies. And then finally, this was another 5 engine room base. And again, so what I've been doing here is using that flare and then getting my, let's use a screenshot here. Trying to get my heavies on this sort of direction, because that way they're covering way more real estate, as opposed to if you drop them straight up and then you end up getting all sorts of side shots from things. So that has been my goal of how I've been dropping my heavies, and then getting that second boat out while that flare is active again, trying to get some of them to walk across. And then you see we've got our heavies walking 4 wide, and that ends up giving you a little bit better coverage, and they're not just all bunched up on machine guns and things like that. So now that that's done, let's see if we can keep this win streak going, do a couple live hits. I fully expect to fall out of diamond here. Really would like to collect a chest, but more important, oh, thank goodness. So now they do only have 50% building health. That's going to be a little bit helpful. They do have a lot. They look at all those boosts. Over what's that? 250% in the boost area. Need to be a little bit careful on this right-hand side. 2 boom cannons, going to be slowing that down. So we'll just go somewhere over into here. And here, boom cannons. There we go. And then I'm just going to hold. I'm going to hold Dr. Kevy Kavan. Don't really know what the heck to do with him. Maybe, just maybe, we can get some heavies on that right-hand side. And now holding. I think we're going to need Kavan on this left-hand side. That boom cannon is doing a lot of dirty work on our heavies, so need to get some rifles out. Need to get those rifles out pretty darn quickly as well. And then back to the barraging. Now, I don't even know the correct perfect number for barraging when it comes to people having building health, so we're just going to keep throwing our GBE out, getting all of the artilleries out there. There we go. So we've gotten it very close already. Them not having building health is a huge blessing for us. And we're just ignoring shock launchers. And that's why I don't have that third shock launcher. I've found that you can literally just ignore people's shock launchers, and it works incredibly well. And there is one player, I can't remember their name off the top of my head, who is literally not using any shock launchers, and they were deep in diamond. So I got a little bit of incentive from them, a little bit of I don't know what the word is. I'm really struggling for words today. So we're just gonna throw all of our artillery. 237. I feel like 236 is always the magic number. So the fact that we're faster than that, they're not in diamond anymore. That looks like a good sign. So early 20 stars. That is going to be massive. 20 stars means that I can now almost definitely collect my chests in diamond, because that means I can lose the next 3 and still claim in diamond. That is going to be massive. So I don't know what it is about 6-engine room bases, but as you saw there's no flares. You're just letting your troops spread, and it definitely had to be a little bit careful about is how we drop them, because we didn't want to have them over on those right-hand side mines, but doing good things. Against 3 shock launchers and a doom cannon up close there. Can we shock? I'm almost certain we can shock 2 shock launchers, a doom cannon, and that boom cannon and cannon. So that looks super valuable. And then as far as how we're going to drop our troops, again, getting that side drop of the heavies, and then we're going to drop 1, 2, 3 over on that right-hand side of our bombardiers, and then holding next boat over there, and now more bombardiers. Now the reason why I'm dropping those bombardiers super duper right is because they're going to work left anyways, and getting those rifles up to that top right is going to help them clear out all sorts of good stuff. And now Kavan, so Kavan doesn't get shot in the head. That is the goal right here, right now. Should be able to hit. Yeah, that shock was not as difficult as I made it out to be. Now the problem is this left-hand side bunch of bombardiers is likely just done. I think I have to write them off. Otherwise, we're going to be in a world of GBE debt. There we go. Doing all right. Just need to get a couple of those troops onto that final set of stuff. I think we're good to just ignore, maybe. Maybe, just maybe, let's get one more second wind. 1, 2, 3 on the barrages, and then we need 3 on the artilleries. And it's going to be a full-on kamikaze flare onto that bottom engine room. That bottom engine room is going to be the crux of this attack. And I don't know when this person started. It's going to be very close, I feel like. And we are about to lose all sorts of bombardiers, so I probably should have flared that final engine room a long time ago. But let's get this next flare out, try to get rid of some mines along the path, and then just one more flare on the hopes that my flare doesn't expire. There's no reason it should, but you see, like, slower against 5 than against 6, probably almost certain to lose. So that is the reason right there why I am holding off for building health. A great example right there. I think Jagger got the best of us. They did. And that, I think that had I have held my rifles and sent them left instead of sending them right, maybe, just maybe, we would have had a little bit better success. I feel like getting to that engine room is the hardest part of that attack. Maybe I should have held some Seekers. Regardless, we've got only lost 9 stars that time. A little bit lucky there. Should be able to collect. 5, it's going to be close. It's gonna, you know what? We should be able to collect. Sorry, we'll get at least 5 this attack, which is going to get us that next chest. Collecting in diamond. I have been collecting in gold for so darn long that it's insane how far behind you get. Now, we can barrage that one. Our troops will clear those 3, so I'm going to hold back. Is there any shock launchers that range that? No. So I'm going to hold back a couple boats of you. We're going to go 3 and 3 and hope that we can get... We're going to go over to this one here. Dropping on that right. 1, 2, 3. And then again with the heavies. And then again with Kavan. Bringing Kavan all the way up. Hitting that corner. Getting that Doom Cannon and that shock launcher. Fairly darn important. And then bringing some rifles up that left-hand side. Because there are just too darn many single shot things. There we go. They're getting rid of all of the things. And now we can focus our GBE. 1, 2... Not sure why I'm counting out loud with you guys, but you get the basic idea of what the heck I'm talking about. Doom Cannon should be down. Don't need to worry about that, I don't think. Everything progressing, and this is where using that one boat of Seekers makes all the difference in the world. Just the fact that our troops are not going to go anywhere near that stuff just means that we can ignore, and then hopefully get rid of these darn shock mines. I just find that things progress so darn slowly when it comes to getting the troops where you actually want them. We are going to do a kamikaze flare as soon as that next engine room goes down, hoping that that machine gun will go down, and then we can drop all of these Seekers. Let's get on to that final engine room. I'm going to throw a shock on this boom cannon just because I'm a little bit nervous, hoping that that kamikaze flare was not too kamikaze, desperately needing it to go down. It's going to be so darn close. Seekers but I did change troops. Again, not super duper quick times. My 5 engine room skills are average at best. Bro, dude, man, guy, the name of... Oh, picking up the win. So we went 2 and 1. That final kamikaze flare was so darn important. Also, I think might have landed an artillery on that engine room to save a second or so, but I'm back, baby. We are going to jump on into that next engine room level. Going to have 34 keys, more than enough to get into building health. I know I'm way behind. This season, these chests having 3 extra keys, I think it's 3 extra keys, and me collecting in gold for like 19 days has been so not good. Showing off those top players. HLY, how many attacks you got? 1,800 attacks. Let's have a look at me down here at 460. 460 is a lot for me. I'm gonna guess Mac at 427. So yeah, I'm back. Finally getting some attacks out there. You know what? Let's show you a little bonus attack. So we did Maze in 2 yesterday, and Maze in 2, like Maze used to be a 5, 6, 7 attack. We got a little bit lucky on this one. I'll show you the start. This one started out only one shield generator on that right-hand side, none on the left. So it is a great, ridiculously good opportunity to get it down in 2, but you still see we've got rockets over here, we've got shock blasters, all of the standard defenses were there. So I opened this up. GBE cost reduction tribe playing a big role in this. Getting out 3 barrages and still having GBE left over would not have happened in the typical Boom Beach week. So all of the things working in our favor. And then bringing out 4 boats of Zookas. You can see nothing ranges those front cells, so picking up 3 extra GBE there. And now it's 1 shock here, 1 shock here, 1 shock here, and then 1 more shock over in there. So only needing 3 to 4 shocks was really helpful. Note you can stand in the middle of that barbed wire. Barbed wire so weak. And then 1, 2, 3 shocks, getting that right shield gen down. All the shields are down. And now next up, bringing out, come on, we're getting a little bit extra gunboat energy over there. But next up, marking those 3 rockets, bringing out Everspark. And if you don't know anything about marking, that is why I marked those buildings, because that way we can control Everspark's next hacks. And then getting her in range of all 3, throwing some critters in the smoke. Those critters are there so Everspark doesn't die, and then a triple hack. Triple hacks are so satisfying. Getting all of the buildings down, very important, so that the next person can clear all of these cells. And then next up, getting rid of these shock blasters, using heavies to do it. Heavies standing out front, getting shot in the face just like on warships. Speeding this up to 4 times. Didn't do a heck of a lot after this, except for clear a path to walk to that far left, getting my troops far left, and then getting all of them onto that final boom cannon, just trying to make the core hit as simple as possible. I don't think I got any more GBE at that point. So attack number 1, clearing for Seek. Seek and Destroy is an absolute beast of a player coming in. Now you'll notice throwing some critters back there on that mortar. Typically throwing critters on defenses doesn't make sense, but in this instance, it frees up all of those cells. You see players on curtain call and stuff throwing critters on cells. Not a good idea. This, on the other hand, is a great idea. Getting all of the troops over to that left-hand side. Notice he didn't drop brick last. That's just in case that shock blaster ends up picking off brick. And then finally, eating all of the cells, clearing all of the mines. This core had, I believe, 2.3 million health, so if we find wherever the heck that next statue is, you'll see it's at 1111% times by 200,000 plus 200,000, you end up with like 2.3 million. So Critters got rid of that mortar, making it so that he can walk over to there with no smoke, eating some more cells, and then like, look at that. Look how many cells he left behind just in case he failed. That is a smart player. And then finally, jumping on in. You'll notice that smoke on that right-hand side, I believe there's going to be critters in there. Maybe he decided not to. I'm guessing decided not to here because he already threw critters early on. And then boom, shakalaka, all the shocks hit, burning through 2.3 million. So warships and some operation attacks. I know I have not used incinerators in my videos. If you are a low level, do go jump in, throw those incinerators in your boats. They cost 0 gunboat energy. Even if you're a high level, consider using incinerators instead of scorchers because they cost 0 GBE. That is a massive opportunity. Well, that is going to be it for me, though. Please hit me up in the comments. Let me know that you missed me so I'm not sitting here fretting that I'm not making videos in vain. I would love to hear your comments on where you're going in warships, what you thought of those operation attacks, and what your record is on maze. I don't think I've seen a maze solo, so maybe that's like a hashtag world record. Oh my god, maze in 2. I'm sure many people have done that, but do check the tribes. I know you've probably already boosted them, but those 2 tribes are fairly useful. Grenadier speed, also very fun. Rifleman life leech, we've had about 1,000 times. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for coming in. I'm zmot. Peace.